Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to talk about the very interesting part, and that's nothing but the identity column. Okay, so to understand the identity column in detail, first thing first, it's very important that you have to go through all the first six part, and then this part will help you to understand about the identity column, why we need the identity column. Okay, so just to give you the brief, okay, in the previous videos we have created there's a customer table and the order details tables, and we understand how there is a relationship between the customer tables and the order tables with a primary key and foreign key, right? So this is my customer tables. If I click here, you can say this is my customer ID. In PK stand for the primary key. And why this primary key is very important, right? It will not allow you to insert a duplicate value here, right? In customer ID 1, for this one is tightly coupled with Kiran. This customer ID is for Kiran only, okay? So that you can identify in order details how many times the Kiran ordered, right? Based on that customer ID. So this customer ID in customer table, which is unique and which is very, very important, right? So that customer ID is very important. The same way in order details, if you can see that the order details ID is again a primary key, right? And this is also very important because this using this unique this order, using this order details ID, you can figure out that this order detail ID is for this customer and for this products and this date or blah blah blah. There's multiples columns will be available, right, in the order detail tables in the if you consider the Amazon application. So this is the order details table, right? So I'll let me reproduce one more time. So before I reproduce the error, duplicate error, you have to understand why it is very important to have that customer ID is unique in this table, right? Because let's say if I add another customer with the same customer ID, then there will be problem to understand, right? What which customers order which products, right? So this customer ID is very, very important and it's unique, right? So I already given the examples as well, right? When you go to the schools or colleges, you get some roll number or some student registration numbers, right? So these are the again unique numbers, right? When you go in any corporate companies, you get the employee ID, right? That is again a unique, and that should be unique, okay? And then and only then you can identify that employee or that student with the help of the roll number. So this is the importance of, and that's the reasons identity column not allow you to insert the duplicate sorry, I mean that primary key not allow you to insert a duplicate value. Let me again try this to reproduce this here for you. Okay, so here customer ID, customer name, email ID, mobile numbers, and here's I'm adding as, let's say this is the customer address, right? And let me copy this, double click here, copy and paste here. Okay, and then billing address, okay, copy and paste here. What happened? Okay, now this one Kiran, that mobile numbers, right? And this is null. Let me add address as customer address is again Pune, and let me add billing address also Pune. And let me try to run this. Okay, it will give me the error. Definitely it will give the error, right? Because it's a violation of primary key. You are adding one again as a customer, because this customer ID one is already available for this customer, so you can't use this customer ID, right? And technically it's correct. But now my question is that if this is primary key is not allowing duplicate key, right? And one more thing is that then why should we have to insert this value here for this column? Is there anything that can internally handled by the SQL? And the answer is yes, definitely. There is identity column which will handle this automatically. So you not need to pass this customer ID, okay? You not need to pass this customer ID. You just have to pass the details, right? Customer name, emails, mobile number. Just imagine, so you're on Amazon application, Amazon website, and you are registering on the Amazon applications. So what you'll give the input is only customer name, email ID, and mobile numbers, right? So you'll never give the customer ID, because this is technical things, right? You don't know about that. So you'll just fill this and SQL internally take care of your next ID, right? So let's say here the two records is already available. It will insert your third record and it will give the third number, third customer ID, right? So let's say if new customer is coming, let's say Sunil is coming as a new customer. So it will insert this record, okay? And it will insert this record and it will give the third. If the next customer comes, it will give the fourth. And this is how the Amazon handling the applications, right? Because so Amazon not need to worry about when you are Amazon customers don't need to worry about the customer ID, all that stuff, right? This is technical stuff. So let's understand now. If I go and try to insert this, what will happen? Okay, it will ask you the cannot insert the null value into the customer ID because it's a primary key. Again, it will not allow the insert null value, right? Definitely it will not allow, because we need customer ID in order to figure out let's say in the customer order details, it's sorry, in product order details, this customer ID is available, right? So you can't put blank, right? Because I want this. So what is the solution for this? Okay, so a solution for this is for this customer ID tables. Okay, for this customer ID tables, I have to add a identity column. So identity column will take care of adding that value for this primary key automatically. You not need to worry about it. Okay, so how to add value for this? Okay, so let me right click here, script this tables, create new query window. Okay, and this is my schema. Okay, right, this is my schema. So what I will do is first let me just to simplify, I will drop all these things just not to make it more complicated. Okay, let me drop table customer. Okay, I will drop this table for now. Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so this gives me the 1 error, right? So it's saying that could not drop the customer table because it is referenced by a foreign key constraint. So it's saying that the customer ID, which is referenced in the foreign key in order details table. So you can't delete the customer table because first, if you want to create a drop customer tables, first you have to drop the order details table as well. So that is the importance of the primary key and foreign key. You can't drop the customer details. So for now, let me drop order details table first, okay, and then we'll create again the order details table as well. Okay, so let me delete the order detail first. Now if I try to execute this, wow, now the customer table is deleted now. Okay, now let me create, okay, again the schema for you. So this is create tables, customer ID, customer name, blah 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 blah. Okay, now here is my customer ID integer, not nulls, and I'm saying it's primary key. Okay, and for this is the primary key, but I want to use identity is the property. Okay, 1 comma 1. Okay, so this is the primary key, okay, which is create that means that primary key will create only a unique number for this customer ID using this identity column. So what is the 1 comma 1? That means it it will start with 1 and it will increment with 1. Okay, that is seed and this is for increment. So when I will add a first record, it will start with 1 and it will be incremental by 1. Means when I will add a next records, it will add automatically 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that incremental number I have given here. Okay, now let me execute this schema. Now you can see that, right, the command completed successfully. So that means now I can create now I can insert into this table. Okay, now if you go here, okay, now I've created this customer ID tables, right? Customer ID column, right? So this is a primary key and identity column will take care of this. So I don't have to pass this customer ID here in this table. So now let me again go here and insert this. Now in this times, I'm not giving the column name customer ID in my table, right? And if I execute this, it should work. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. So if I do execute from the select star from the customer, you can see that customer ID 1 automatically comes, right? It's all our problems. You not need to worry about, to pass that customer ID. We not need to worry about that um, uh, that uniqueness, the duplicate, and the primary violations of primary key and all that stuff, right? Definitely, again, if you're trying to, so now that violations of primary key issue will not come to you because you are not passing the customer ID here. Okay, so that sounds good. Now I will tell you the one more thing, Raul. Now let me add the second entry. I will add here as, let's say Akshay, okay, and I'm giving, let's say apgmail.com, let's say I'm adding here Mumbai, and again, I'm giving here that's Mumbai. And if I'm inserting this record, one row is successful. Now, if we can go and check, perfect. Now, to Akshay, for Akshay, the next number is automatically generated, right? And this is how it works for Amazon websites or any applications in the world. You can see and you can imagine that scenario. This is how technically or internally SQL handle these things. So the same way it happens for the order details, right? So when you go on Amazon websites and you do some shoppings, you get one order ID, right? So that is how, this is how the order details and the order IDs also get generated. And this is generated based on the identity column. Okay, sounds good. I hope you understand what is the importance of identity column and how it will help you, to go and, set this rule in your table so that it will be auto generated and you not need to worry about violation of primary key or adding a duplicate customer ID. Now, this is foolproof, right? Now the Kiran Power will have the one customer ID, Akshay will have the two customer ID, and this will be not duplicate for any other customer, right? So let me add one more entry, let's say for Sunil. Okay, and if I am giving here, let's say Sunil, and again it belongs to Mumbai, and if I execute this, you can see that the one more row is executed, and sounds good, right? Now the third record is added for Sunil. So I think I hope you understand the what is the meaning of identity column, how it is helpful for you. Now I added the identity column here, right? Now let's go to the date table, just refresh and refresh here. Okay, and just go to the customer tables, go to the column, and here you can see that, right? This is my primary key. Customer ID have the primary key. Okay, here you can go and you find that this is my primary key custom. Now, if I right click here and go to the properties, okay, you can see that this identity seed is 1 and identity increment is 1. That means it will start with 1 and it will increment by 1. So every time when I will add new record into this my table, it will go with a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So it will add incremental 1. Okay, so the by default the value is always 1 and 1, so that means it will start with 1 and it will increment by 1. Okay, now the task and the assignment for you, that just create the same tables and you can start with the seed as 1000 and increment by 2. Okay, and you will find that it will start, it will insert your first record with 1000s, and then your second record it will insert default value will be the 1002, then the 1004. So this is what the meaning of the seed and increment. Okay, but the technically and it start with 1, technically it start with default value 1 and 1, right? That makes sense, right? I'm just to give you the knowledge, I help you understand. There might be some business scenarios where it's required, but I never come across that scenario. Or but just to give the informations, I have given this to you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comment box, do you like about the identity column, how it solves the problem of the duplicate violations of primary key or duplicate anything like this. Okay, so just on top of this, I just want to share you one more things. Okay, one more scenario. Let's say this is my customer tables. Okay, I have these 3 customers, but let's say I have 2 more customers. Okay, those are already part of this, already part of this uh, applications, but somehow those get deleted or some projects scenarios happens where I want to add these two customers into this, okay, and I know their customer ID is, let's say this customer ID is a 10, and the customer ID is 11, okay, and let's say their name is customer ID, okay. So let me copy here. Customer ID is this, and customer ID is this, okay. And let's say this is my let's say my Appa is my new customers, and let's say Vinay. I want to add this two, okay, this 10 and 11, but it's not possible, right? Because it's identity column, and it will not, cannot answer, cannot insert explicitly value for identity column table customers when identity insert is set to off. Okay, so by default, when you create identity column, it will not allow you to insert into the identity column, but you have some project scenario. Okay, sometimes we face some data fixes is needed, some production issues where you need to fix some data, you need to fix some data. So in that case, I want to insert these two records, okay, in my table. So how I can do this? Okay, so this is the property, right? Identity insert. So you have to set this property as a on, okay, because this uh, error itself explaining you that identity insert property is off. Okay, you just set identity insert on, let's say customer table, set identity for this table on. Okay, so that means set identity insert for this table on. Okay, now if I click and execute it, it's command completed successfully. Now if I go and now if I run this, it should insert this record, and perfect, sounds good, right? So now if I select start from, you can see that the 10 is come to my uh, 10 come as my new entry, right? So this is the bypass when you want to add some entry into the identity column. Okay, let me add one more entry, and it should be add, right? Now if I go and select start from the customers, so you can see that, right, 10 and 11 is added. So that is a bypass in case you want to add value into the identity column. Okay, now once you've done this, you have to make sure that you have to set this property off. Okay, otherwise what will happen? Let's say in applications again, let's say a new customer comes, and if he's trying to insert into the record, okay, uh, let's say here new customer is coming, and instead of uh, let me add Amardeep is the new customer is coming. Okay, and if you're trying to insert that customer, it will give you the error because it's saying explicit value must be specified for the identity column, right? Because identity column is on now. Okay, so don't get confused when the identity column is by default off. Okay, so let me off this identity column. Is identity column is off by default, and you not need to pass the identity column. Now if I insert this, it will insert the record, right? So I now if I go and select star from customer, you can say that it's take the max number, right? After the 11, it takes the 12 number, right? So I hope you understand now that when you create the identity column, you not need to pass the identity column value, that is customer ID. It will take automatically incremental number, first thing first, right? And the second is that when you want to explicitly add that value into the customer table for this customer ID, you have to set identity insert on, and then you can do that operations. But there is chances of some data inconsistency, right? You can see that there's 1 2 3 and then 10 11 12. So there's some data inconsistency, and that's the limitations of this identity on off. Okay, but sometimes there is a scenario where you have to do these operations. You have to set identity on, and you have to insert some records, to fix some production issues or something. but just to give that information. But I hope you understand all about that identity column and how it solves your problem of primary key, violations of primary key, not to go a duplicate value into the primary column, how to keep the consistency and integrity between all the objects, customer and the order details. And this is how the identity column plays a very, very important role when it comes to the primary key. And you not need to pass that value from the application, from the UI. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something new in this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my video. If you have any doubt, any concern, please comment me in the comment box, and definitely I will answer you. Okay. If you have anything, any doubt, or if you want to connect with me, you can connect me on this mail ID. Okay. So I think that's it for today, guys. See you in the next video. Till then, uh, keep learning, keep doing practice for SQL. And this is the only way if you want to be a confident, and if you want to get a good job, do SQL practice every single day, 1 to 2 hours, and there is no way that no one can stop you to become the SQL pro. Okay, just do practice for 1 to 2 hours every single day. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Take care. See you in the next video. Bye bye.